This is an emergency broadcast. We are under attack.
Nine hikers ran out of their tent in the middle of the night, barefoot, into minus 20-degree temperatures, and whatever made them run was never found.
Oh, here we go again. Let me guess. Another terrifying story that's going to scare the crap out of everyone, and in the end, it's going to be another fugazi.
Nope, this one's 100% real, pal.
Oh, well, in that case, proceed.
Thought so. This one is a case that's been unsolved for decades. Tonight, we are looking at the infamous Dyatlov Pass Incident and how a group of young hikers were mysteriously and horrifically killed. So stay tuned, because you won't want to miss this one. In 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers set out into the Ural Mountains on what should have been a challenging but a routine expedition. They were trained, prepared, and familiar with extreme winter conditions. Their leader, Igor Dyatlov, had done trips like this before. Everything about the beginning of the journey was normal, even routine. They documented their trip with photos, journals, even jokes along the way. At one point, one of the members turned back due to illness, a decision that would ultimately save his life. The remaining 9 continued toward a mountain known as Kholat Syakhl, a name that translates to Mountain of the Dead.
Holy crap. If this is not an ominous foreshadowing of bad things to come, I don't know what is. They probably should have all phoned in sick for this one.
Tell me about it. I know I would have. By February 1st, they reached the slope and made a decision that still confuses investigators. Instead of moving into a nearby forest for protection, they pitched their tent on an exposed mountainside. And on that night, something happened. When rescuers arrived weeks later, they found the tent still standing, partially buried in the snow. But what they saw next didn't make sense. The tent had been cut open from the inside, not unzipped, cut, as if the hikers were so terrified they just tore through the tent and escaped for their lives.
Wait. Hold on, pal. You're not going to tell me it was the friggin' Bigfoot guy again, are you?
Hold on, champ. You're getting ahead of yourself. Outside, footprints led away from the tent. Not running, not scattered, but walking. Barefoot. In socks, some with only one shoe. They moved down the slope into a freezing darkness, away from everything that could have kept them alive. The first bodies were found near the edge of the forest. 2 hikers, barefoot, barely clothed, lying near remains of a small fire. The branches above them were broken, high up in the tree, as if someone had climbed in desperation, trying to see something, or more likely, escape something. Further up the slope, 3 more bodies were discovered. These were the ones who had tried to make it back to the tent. They never made it.
So these poor kids got terrified and ran out to escape something. But at some point, they probably thought the danger was over. Tried to make it back to the tent for safety. But whatever it was, still got them? That's tragic.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened, and it is very, very tragic. Months later, the remaining 4 were found buried under snow in the ravine. And this is where the case takes a darker turn. Some had severe internal injuries, crushed ribs, fractured skulls, injuries compared to a high-speed car crash. But there were no external wounds to match the damage. One hiker was missing her tongue, another had missing eyes.
All right, now we got a problem. This isn't sounding like anything natural I've ever heard of.
And that makes 2 of us, pal. Neither have I. The official explanation at the time was vague. Investigators concluded that the hikers died due to an unknown compelling force. And for decades, that phrase has fueled speculation about what really happened on that mountain that night.
What the hell does that mean?
Your guess is as good as mine. Some believe it was an avalanche, a sudden collapse of snow that forced the group to flee in panic. Others suggest infrasound, a low-frequency vibration caused by wind capable of triggering extreme fear and disorientation. But then, there are the theories that go a little bit further. Some claim the hikers encountered something not entirely human. Figures seen in the distance, movement in the darkness, something watching them before they ever left their tents. Others point to reports from nearby hikers who claimed to see strange orange lights in the sky that night, silent, hovering, and unexplained. There are even theories involving something older, something tied to the mountain itself, a place locals had long considered dangerous.
Bingo! I knew it! Friggin' Bigfoot!
For once, I think you might be right. Of course, modern investigations have attempted to explain the mystery using science. In 2020, researchers suggested a rare type of avalanche combined with terrain conditions could have caused the initial panic. The injuries, they argue, came from the fall into the ravine. The missing soft tissue explained by natural decomposition over time. But even with those explanations, some details remain difficult to ignore. The way the tent was cut open, the decision to leave without gear, the sequence of events that led experienced hikers to act in a way that defies logic. More than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of the most unsettling mysteries ever recorded. Not because we don't have theories, but because none of them fully explain what those hikers experienced in their final moments. And maybe that's what makes it so disturbing. Not what we know, but what they might have experienced. Well, folks, that's going to do it for tonight's episode. If you enjoyed hanging out with us, please hit subscribe, like, and drop a comment with your thoughts. That stuff really helps the channel grow. And if you get enough subscribers, maybe the big guy here can finally have the guts to get in the ring with Bigfoot.
Look here, punk. We both know I'll sit that big hairy monkey on his ass, like Tyson did to Spinks.
Only time will tell, champ. As always, I'm your host, Adam. That's Bear. Until next time, be good or be good at it.